Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're doing another tier list. But today I want to do something a little bit different because recently I've been getting a lot of questions saying like, when should I be playing Ana? When should I be playing BAP? What characters should I really be looking for? What am I trying to do with this comp? And a lot of that has come from the Unranked to GM series, and a lot of the times what I'm saying is like, oh, well, BAP would be better in this situation, but I can't really tell you guys why without giving you guys tier lists for every single support and kind of showing you guys who I think really synergizes well with Ana, with BAP, with Moira. So to be honest, going into this list, I don't know exactly how it's going to look. I'm going to be telling you guys a lot of what my thought process is as we go along, because I have a certain idea of how it will look, but I'm not certain. So this is going to be about like how this character goes into specifically playing with said character. So like Ana with Winston is probably going to be an S tier for Ana. But Ana with like, I mean, even Widowmaker, she does well with double sniper comps. It's every single character choice I put in here will have a reasoning behind it. That being said, I guess we should start off here. With Ana, I can't really put this character in anywhere because it's Ana, so I'm gonna put her last. Ashe. The thing with Ashe is that Ana Mercy is a really good comp, but Ana Ashe, it can kind of depend. So I kind of want to wait to see where Ashe goes. But more specifically, Baptiste, I'm probably going to put at a D or a C tier. Probably D tier. So the thing, I'll put him at top D tier, bottom C tier actually. Because the thing with BAP is that she did, this is not something like C tier is usually something I probably wouldn't want to play, but if I have this in my game in the current meta, I'm not going to be mad if BAP is on my team when I'm doing Unranked to GM, because what you do with Ana when you're playing with a BAP is you're playing extremely aggressive for damage and also looking for anti-nades. Now when I say that, a lot of questions will come up. Well, why are you looking for strictly damage, or are you still healing? As Ana, you are still going to be healing the diva. You're still going to be healing tanks to get your nano, or just to keep your tanks alive. But you're in the back of your mind, you have to understand that if the comp wants to succeed with you and Ana, you should be looking for nades, nades, damage, looking to be in aggressive spots that aren't going to get you killed, but are going to be very aggressive. And I like playing with BAP. I just don't think it's meta. Bastion next. I think Nano Bastion is good, but Bastion with Ana is kind of bad. Because if you have like an Ana Mercy, Bastion is not going to do well. Like what makes Bastion do well right now is the immortality field. And because with Ana you'd have to be running the BAP, I think Bastion gets a low D tier, high F tier for Ana. The thing is, if you do nano a Bastion on the cart and you are running Ana BAP, it's not bad. It will tear through teams, which is absolutely, you'll see that when if you ever play with a Bastion when you're playing as Ana. I just wouldn't recommend it. If your second support is Mercy and you have someone running Bastion, Baptiste is by far the better play, and Ana just it's not synergizing super great with Ana. Brigitte, easily an S tier. Ana Brig is such a staple comp. Brig with literally Zen or Ana is just such a good composition because Brig lets them be aggressive with literally no repercussions. Now if stun goes away, maybe that'll go down a bit, but I think Ana Brig is probably the best support. I think Brig is the best support duo for Ana because it's the most universal and it makes the most sense to me because of the way that Ana's kit works in relation to other characters. And I like with Moira in Brawl, if you're running Moira, you want to run the Lucian, you want to play fast. If you're running the Ana, you're playing for anti-nade value, so you want to play for a longer fight, thus you want the Briggs to allow the Ana to play more aggressively and have that longer fights. That being said, Lucio isn't bad, but we'll get into that. Doomfist. Is Doomfist S tier synergy? I honestly think he's at least high A tier. Low S tier, high A tier. He might be S tier. But the only problem with Doomfist is that if he over-engages, it's very hard to stay in LOS of him. But the way that your healing works as Ana is probably like the best to support a Doomfist in the game. Because of the healing range that you have. I really should start doing with more Doomfist players, man. Like 100%. That'd actually be so much fun. But I honestly am putting this high A tier, low S tier maybe. I think Doomfist's kit revolves like very, very, very well around Ana's kit, especially with Nano Boost. It does so much for his kit in terms of damage resist and doing more damage. It's pretty much making his kit just better. That's just Nano Boost though. Anti-nades can make life easy if he just wants to ability spam and not have to use his punch. Honestly, I might put him S tier later in the list, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I still think he's very strong. D.Va, I'm kind of... I think D.Va works really well with Ana because of defense matrix, but I don't think it's like... specifically like, yeah, D.Va is the character to pick with Ana. I think it supplies her kit well, but it doesn't define a good synergy that's like crazy good. I think it's very nice to have a D.Va on your team though when you are playing Ana. So I think that's a very middle of the pack choice, middle B tier. I think that's pretty solid. As far as playing against D.Va, it's F tier. It's so annoying playing against that DM. It's yeah. But Echo I'm actually going to put below Doomfist just because I think that there are better synergies with other supports like Zen, like Mercy, but I don't think it's bad because Ana can easily just quickscope an Echo out of the air. I think it's a low A tier, high B tier. I'm not mad if I have an Echo on my team and I'm running Ana, to say the least. I don't think it's bad at all. Genji, here's the thing. In terms of practicality, I don't think it's very practical. Not because of the synergy, though, with Ana and Genji. More so with the fact that Genji is just a bad character right now. He doesn't do well against what is good. The thing is, the synergy between the characters is very strong. I don't think it's as strong as Ana Brig. I think it's still extremely strong. Honestly, I think Ana Brig and Ana Genji kind of tie. Because the thing is while it's not super practical, Anti-Nade lets Genji dash through targets really, really easy. It's 140 of no healing for 6 seconds. If a Genji can't dash through that, he's not a good Genji. Nano Blade is really, really strong. And the thing with Genji is that he can peel for the Ana and get a dash reset very, very easily. Very, 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 very easily. It's almost a free dash reset. So the peel that Genji can provide to Ana too, that's like an added bonus. It's not what makes him great. But it's still something to note. So here's the thing. Now we're on Hanzo. I think I'm going to put Hanzo high F tier. The only thing that synergizes between Ana and Hanzo is Anti-Nade into Grav when he's Grav Dragoning. The thing is, that's not really synergy with Hanzo. That's synergy with Zarya. Here's the thing. Ana Hanzo is still a really, like, double sniper with Ana Mercy is still incredibly, like, strong. It's just that Ana doesn't fundamentally synergize with the Hanzo. And I would much rather be, honestly, in this day and age, I'd probably want to run Mercy Zen more than Mercy Ana. So, while it doesn't necessarily, like, here's the thing. If they're on double sniper, and your team is playing for double sniper, and you want to be aggressive with anti-nades, like, that can still help. I just think these characters are a better choice. I think Zen is a better choice with the double sniper, Zen Mercy. But I think I'm not complaining. But the thing is, that's more so synergy with the comp than synergy with the characters. Junk is arguably the worst. Maybe at lower elos it's really nice because he can chunk through tanks with mines. But the thing is, the more you climb, it's just gonna quickly diminish how good Junkrat is. It's just that Junkrat wants to play for spam. Diana, it's just that Zen's better, Bap's better. It doesn't really synergize with this kit. I mean, here's the thing: the big thing you're probably gonna see here is that the dive characters and like the slow brawl characters are going to synergize with Ana the best, and the really hard spam characters are gonna struggle with playing with an Ana. Okay, Lucio. I'm going to put it above Echo, but below Doomfist. The thing with Lucio is that the way that the game works and the fact that Moira exists, it makes Ana Lucio kind of bad. Because the thing is with Lucio is that he wants to play aggressively because that's how he's played nowadays. But the thing is he has to peel for his Ana. I think if Moira gets nerfed, maybe you could possibly see Ana Lucio. Like, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's nowhere near how good Ana Brig is. Ana Brig is the best composition to be playing with an Ana. That is the best duo in my opinion. But Ana Lucio is a staple, so it's not necessarily bad. That being said, we now have Kree. I think Kree is another one that's kind of B tier. I think it's about tied with D.Va. It's not like Kree Ana is gonna win you all of your games, but it's not like it's bad either. I think Kree plays very well in terms of protecting Ana with stun. And, I mean, there's better DPS to combo with Ana, but I'm not mad if Kree is on my team. Like, these characters are not like, no, don't want to play Ana here. Mei doesn't synergize with Ana's kit, per se, but it's not, like, super bad either. It's kind of the same story as Kree, just a little bit lesser. Like, I'd rather play, like, Bap with the Mei, or Moira with the Mei, because Mei tends to want to play a little faster, but it depends on the composition here. So, it's like, S through C, it's kind of like, this is not turn-off tier. D through F is like, that's turn-off tier for Ana. For lack of a better description, when I see a Bastion, and I don't have a Bap on my team, I'm looking to be playing Bap. But the thing is, with these characters, it's not like it's yeah, I'm gonna play Ana here, but it's also not like I'm not gonna play Ana, if that makes sense. These characters, yeah, I mean, Ana synergizes very well with these characters. Mercy. I honestly want to put Mercy S tier with the way the game functions nowadays, but I don't know if I can quite do it, because I think that's a little bit generous. I think I'll give it better than Lucio, but not much. I think it's very close to Lucio. Ana Mercy compositions are really, really strong. We've seen it in the Ana Unranked GM series. I really like playing with a Mercy when I'm playing Ana, because Mercy can deal with damage boosting very aggressively and also healing the aviation mechanics of Pharah and Echo. But there's something about Mercy that just is really, it's very strong when paired with an Ana. I can't really put my finger on it, because if you look at it on paper, the support ult from Lucio is like really, really strong. But the thing is that Mercy with damage boost and just the way the game's played, it works very, very well. Also, damage boosting Ana when you get a sleep can be really, really nice, especially if you're trying to kill a Kree or a Reaper, or if you're trying to kill a Pharah. I just think there's a lot of different versatile utility that is provided by the Ana and Mercy combo. Also, the thing is that while Ana synergizes well with Mercy, it kind of depends on the team comp you're running. So when we get to the overall like finish line of this, that's kind of where we'll see it. Now that I put Mercy on the list, I think I'm gonna put Ashe in C tier with Bat, because I don't think Ashe is bad. It doesn't really synergize with Ana, but it doesn't necessarily not. Like, I mean, sure, you can anti-nade the dynamite, and that's great. That's not something that it's not something that you're going to be seeing a lot. It's something it's there for when you find comps and ladder that are kind of all over the place. It'll help, but it's not something that you're looking for to build a comp. It's not something that it's crucial, you know? Next up, Moira. This is hard because Moira and Zen are kind of on the same boat. It really depends on your opinion. I think Ana Zen is something I prefer, but Ana Moira also isn't bad. It really depends here. I think that Moira complements the current playstyle for Ana better than Zen does, but Ana Zen still has a place. I'm gonna put these both right now. I think Zen's actually top F tier. I think Moira is definitely... I think that they're about the same. I think Moira can deal with heals very well, allowing for Ana to play extremely aggressive with anti-nades. But it really depends. Like, here's the thing. it's still in turn-off territory. I honestly personally prefer playing with the Zen. That doesn't mean that Ana synergizes better with Zen. It just means that I'm more confident. It depends on the level of play. And I think Moira synergizes with Ana a little bit better, but it's nearly non-existent. Nearly. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Pharah. I think I'm gonna put Pharah top B tier, bottom A tier, around where Echo is, because Nano Barrage is really, really strong, and one shot on a Pharah can keep her alive and kicking. But it's not like I see Pharah, I'm gonna pick it. It is really strong though. Like if an Ana, when I'm playing Ana and I do see a Pharah, I'm not complaining. Like I'm totally okay with that, and that's something that I can recognize the impact and synergy I can have. Especially if I hit an anti-nade, it means that the Pharah doesn't have to be hardcore focusing on directs, and she can be hitting for splash damage and still be finding picks, which is just something to look out for. I think I did skip Orisa. Ooh. Ah, man. You would think Orisa would be really bad, but she's actually really, really strong with Ana. I think she's better than D.Va, but not by much. Because here's the thing with Orisa. While it's not necessarily practical, if you are finding yourself in an Orisa Hog composition, pull nade is absolutely insane. That is consistent. Like, consistent pull nade value is crazy, crazy good. And that will carry games. This is actually the meta that I joined PC. I was... that was the meta where it was Orisa Hog, and I strictly hit 4300, I think, because of just pull nade combos. Like, I strictly think the only reason why I got so high up was because my nades are really good. My aim was not that strong, but the nades are really, really strong. I mean, nowadays it's not as practical because double shield exists. Like, Sig just completely destroys the pull hook meta. But I still think the synergy should be known. I just don't think it's super, super practical, but I think it's really, really strong. I think Reaper is, in terms of practicality, not as practical as Kree, but in terms of how it synergizes, much better than Kree. So I'm going to put it up just one. If you can, it's the same thing as a tank. If you can anti-nade their tank and heal your Reaper, you don't even have to deal with it anymore. The Reaper will just heal himself. Nano Blossom is also extremely strong. I think the only problem with Reaper is that you're going to have to deal with Pharmacy on your own if you are Ana. Which, I mean, you can do, but the better the Pharmacy, the harder it is. Therefore, Kree, I think, is really strong. But I think Reaper is better. I just don't think Reaper is as practical, which also kind of factors into it. But when you have, like, how well Genji synergizes with Ana, even though it's not super, super practical, the synergy is so apparent that even though these two characters are so bad right now, you can still play them and get value in anything that's like 3,900 and below. Reinhardt. I'm going to put Reinhardt top A tier. Back in the day, when Moira and Bap didn't exist, Reinhardt was an S tier, best synergy with Ana. The thing is that nowadays, the way that Reinhardt has to play, Ana just can't keep up. Unless you're playing a slow brawl. But the thing is that isn't as apparent. The thing is Nano Rein and, like, sleeps with Rein, splashes with Rein, still are very, very great for his kit. It's not the fact that Ana and Rein don't synergize well together. It's the fact that all of the other characters make that synergy just a little bit less potent. Like it doesn't matter if you sleep the Rein and anti-nade him if the Baptiste can just immo around the corner. I mean, and that's just how it works. That being said, I think there are tanks that are just better. For example, Winston, honestly, better than these three characters are probably the best synergies with Ana. Winston, Ana, it's exactly what you want to do. Ana can keep up with Winston if he wants to dive deep and aggressive. Nano Winston is great. Also, anti-nades. Sleeps are great so that Winston doesn't have to deal with the targets. The kit is almost perfectly translated to Winston. And because of that, I can't put myself I can't make myself put Ryan S tier. I think it's really strong, and that's what A tier is looking like right now, and I'm totally fine with playing Ana with Ryan. It's just the way that you want to play it nowadays. I'd much rather pick just different tanks. Like Zarya and Winston, I think, are just much better. Hog. Ooh, I think Hog's up there. I think Hog's up there. Because here's the thing, right? Against a Hog, the synergy is great for yourself. And it's not even synergy, just how hard you counter Hog. That shouldn't really be given into consideration, but that's something I want to just note. Ana directly counters Hog, but Ana also almost directly synergizes with Hog. It's not super practical because Hog as a character isn't really that great, but if you're playing a Hog, you're playing for like kind of a flanky comp, so Ana doesn't really suffer from that either. Almost that I'd almost say that you're gonna play Ana more with a Hog nowadays than you are Ryan. That doesn't necessarily mean that it synergizes better. Actually, I'm gonna put it above Doomfist. I think it almost ties with Ryan. Anti-nading tanks on hooks. You pretty much. What am I looking for here? You certify. That's not what I'm saying. You pretty much put. It's certain that you are going to kill the tank that you anti-nade when the Hog hooks it. If you want to use nade aggressively, you can also nano the Hog when he nanos it, or hooks a tank and kill that tank as well. And then whole Hog is an absolute killing machine with nano. Sleep dart as well can also be an option if you need to sleep the tank that the Hog pushes if you have literally no other option. A lot of what Ana's kit does directly just makes sure that whatever that Hog hooks gets killed, and entering a fight that's a 6v5 is pretty much a fight win. The higher you go, one less person, you pretty much just win. Next up, we have Sig. Honestly, I think I'm going to put Sig F tier. High F tier have you, but I just like... Here's the thing. Sig ball compositions, I think you can still run Ana. I'd rather run Zen, but you can still run Ana. I just personally think that out of all of the tanks, if you are running a double shield composition where Sig is generally played now in the current meta, that is something that you should be telling yourself, I'm playing Bap, Moira, Lucio, or Zen. I am not going to be playing Ana with this composition. I still think it's okay to play Ana with Sig. I don't think it's something you should be looking for. That's just what I personally believe. Okay, moving on, because I feel like that makes at least a little bit of sense. Soldier. I think Soldier is really, really strong. Is it S tier? I would say it's bottom S tier. I don't think it's practical because of how Soldier functions as a character, but here's the thing. Ana is also one, in the current climate, Ana doesn't do very well. Maybe in 5v5 it'll be more practical. That's what I'm excited for. I think in 5v5 it'll be much more practical for Ana. Okay, but here's the thing with the Soldier. One, he has Healing Field. Therefore, you don't have to use nade on yourself if you are close enough to your Soldier. The problem is, Soldier wants to flank. That's all well and good though, because the thing with Ana is that with the unlimited range that Ana has, as long as line of sight is present, Soldier can flank as much as he wants and really doesn't have to worry about anything as long as he can peek his Ana. Nanovisor is also incredibly strong, and all of those combined together just make a really solid synergy between the two characters, in my opinion. Alright, Sombra. I'm gonna put Sombra bottom B tier. Because here's the thing, if you can get a big anti-nade and the Sombra's waiting for you to get that anti-nade on a Zen in the backline, you pretty much confirm that kill, and then you win. Nano Sombra can be very, very nice if you want to get your EMP faster, and also just to kill as well. But I would make sure that I mean, the kill is kind of like the added bonus in that Nano. I'd want to make sure that my Sombra doesn't have EMP, or does not have EMP, so that she can farm it. I mean, I don't think it's like... Here's the thing. It's a staple in Double Bubble to be running the Sombra, but I don't think it's like... Because you're running Sombra, if you weren't running Double Bubble, I would not say you should be picking Ana with a Sombra. Symmetra, besides wall, or besides like nanoing her when she's max beam, I don't think there's a whole lot of synergies between their kits. I mean, the teleporter to get high ground isn't bad, I think the C tier is like, it's not bad, but it's not like when I see this, I'm going to want to pick Ana. The thing is with Symmetra is that she doesn't really synergize with any of the supports. She more so synergizes with her whole team and the idea of what her team wants to do. So it's very hard to say Symmetra directly synergizes with Ana. So, I don't know. With that said, let's move on to Torb. I think Torb is honestly a little bit better than Mei and Sim because nanoing a Torb with Overload, I think that's what it's called, Overload, is really, really strong, right? It's just like, besides that, what else does the kit really do? The thing is the way that Torb's character works, it's a lot easier with that shotgun ability to get a nade on both him and an enemy target. Therefore, I think it's not quite DRF tier. Like, I still honestly really want to duo with a really good Torb player. Like, I don't even know if there are any good Torb players anymore. Besides, like, Avatar, I don't know if there really is a good Torb one-trick anymore. I wish there were more players that would play like that. But, I mean, do I think Torb is, like, the best synergy with Ana? No. Do I think it's bad? No. I still would duo with a Torb. Because the thing is with Torb is that it also counters dive. That's why I like it so much. I think that gives it enough to be a bottom B tier. It's like a very small change, but the turret actually does synergize really well with Ana because it can keep you alive and you can play around it. I didn't think about that. But that's like the main reason I think why Torb is so good with Ana. So I mean, that's something to note. But yeah, let's move on to Tracer. Well, I don't think... Nah, dude, I think Tracer is really close to S tier. I don't think it's quite S tier, though. I think Doom synergizes with Ana a bit better. But the thing with Tracer, nanoing a Tracer is crazy. If the Tracer is good, it's crazy. It's been a while since I played with a bad Tracer. Mostly because the only people that play this character are the players that are actually kind of good with her. Nano Pulse Bomb in a Grav is decent. If you really want to make sure you kill everyone, I wouldn't go for that very often, though. I think the main thing that the reason why Ana and Tracer synergize so well together is that you only need to shoot her once in a fight. You only do. She only has 150 health. One shot is enough for her to keep going. And I think that's really important to note when you're playing Ana with the Tracer. It pretty much is like there's so much self-sustain that you can be even more aggressive with your damage and your abilities because you only need to shoot her once for her to keep going. And then the nano on top of that, and the way that her character functions, that if you anti-nade a tank, like, she can melt that. If you anti the Zen, she can melt that. Just the way that the kits work together, extremely strong. So much so that I honestly want to put her S tier. But that's more so just because it's practical. And I think Doom synergize, I don't know. I still think A tier is like, it's pretty much S tier. It's just not like what you think immediately when you're saying, yeah, let's do Ana. Widow is like literally the worst character to play with Ana in terms of synergy. There's no synergy between these characters because Widow just one-shots. The Nano's pretty much useless on her. Anti-nade, who cares? You know? Sleep Dart, though. Sleep Dart does do well, but here's the thing. Double Sniper is great when you're playing with Ana if you want to play Ana Mercy. The reason you play Ana in that comp is to play aggressive and just find damage. So much so that you might as well just run Zen. It's like the characters don't synergize. It's the fact that Double Sniper works well with the tanks and Ana works well with the tanks because pull nade combos, yada yada yada. You pick Ana there really to support your tanks and to support damage on the front line. Ball next. I really like playing with Ball too. Do I put it S tier? I don't think so. Do I put it A tier? I think so. I think it's more practical than Hog because of just Ball as a character. Do I think there's better synergy than with Hog? It's damn close. It's damn close. I don't know where to put it though. Bottom or top? Because I think I'm going to put it above Echo. I think I'm going to put Ball above Echo. Antiing before a slam crazy value. That ball can pretty much just gun them down and just win. Nanoing a ball, very strong to keep them alive or hit a big slam. The thing is, Sleep Dart, he can wake those up fairly easily. It's just like Winston is better than with a ball, but the thing is, if you have a ball, it's not bad because you can heal from range and you are okay with him playing quick if he needs to. So it's, again, I think it's better than Orisa in terms of practicality and in terms of just synergy in general. I just don't think it's like Carbon, like I don't think this is the like token synergy pick with Ana, like Winston, like the Rhines, like the Briggs, the Genjis, the Soldiers, the Hogs. Like pretty much these 8 characters right here are token. Plus the Mercy. And last but not least, Zarya. With the way that the kit works, I think Zarya is a little bit worse than Brig, but it is still pretty much S tier. And this is why Double Bubble is so strong, because so many of the characters at that time were so strong and synergized so well with Ana. Reason being why Ana synergizes well with Zarya. What is the direct counter to Grav? Zenyatta's Transcendence. You can also argue Beat, but Zenyatta's Transcendence is a lot more menacing than the Beat drop when inside a Grav, in my opinion. The reason why Beat drop is so good is that you can beat and then everyone can kind of scatter around and play really aggressive and you don't really have to worry about it. Then you have to stay close to make sure that you're getting that value. And here's the thing. Ana with Zarya can directly counter a support ultimate with an ability. That is crazy amounts of value. Add on top of that, anti-nade cleanse effects. So if your run gets antied, your Zarya can then cleanse that effect off, and then you can look for the splash to heal your Rein and anti that is crazy synergy in terms of the Rein 1v1 and the Winston 1v1s. Put on top of that, nanoing the Zarya so that she can get her grab even faster. Her kit practically revolves around Ana in terms of how hard she can be, how aggressively she can play. So that I found my words. And besides that, I don't really have any explanation for her. I think she kind of explains herself. I know I took a little longer to explain this, but I hope this kind of helped you guys. I hope you guys understand that the only real characters that I'm like about are pretty much D and below. I still would play with the D characters on my team. I still would play with the F characters on my team. It's just that it's not because they're the ones that are picked. It's because of the way the team comp would function that I picked the Ana. For example, if I have a Sig and there's a ball, and it's a Sig ball tank composition, playing Ana into that comp isn't bad. I still think that Mercy Zen is better, but playing Ana into that comp is not bad. The reason being, the way the comp wants to play is very spammy, and Ana can do that well, but just not as well as Zen. So the reason why I might actually start doing these videos once a week, maybe I'll do it on top of scripted videos, a scripted video if I can get it done for next week, is just because I think this is something that a lot of people need to know, of like who to pick with Ana and the reasonings why I think that. So if this helps you guys out, please let me know. If you think that Ana synergizes better or worse with one of these characters on the list, let me know. I do read all of it. I just tend not to argue because, I mean, you have your opinion. That's great. And I respect that. And I think the game plays very differently based on your rank. And that's just how games like this kind of work. Yeah, if you have any problems with my list, just let me know. I'm more than happy to read it. And then if I can get back to you, I will. Again, thank you guys so much for 2,000 subs. It's honestly surreal. I did not think I would ever get here. I'm just happy that I can help you guys all out. And yeah, I will see you guys all next week with more videos. And but until next time, I've got a peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.